How's everyone today? It's Sunday, August 11th, 2024, and it's just about 1 o'clock. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Let's see what's going on YouTube real quick. Our friend Jacob is still getting reps, still going strong. The man is a machine. So, here's the deal, guys. I am in the process. I think I'm going to do it. Wasn't sure, but I'm going to do a membership as suggested by Mocha, as suggested by our good friend Destiny Forever Walks PhD, as suggested by Duncan Walsh, and as suggested by our good friend Eric Lapointe. Our friend Lee's here. Lee, how are you? So I'm not going to do levels. It took me a while to come to accept doing a membership because I don't like offering something exclusively for one group of people and not to others. That if I'm going to teach, I'm going to teach everyone. It was Eric Lapointe as well as Duncan who helped me clarify my thinking. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate that. That it's not so much that I'll be offering something different. It's that I'll be offering the exclusivity of time and attention. That when I'm doing a live stream, we're talking about all kinds of stuff. We're having fun. We do cover serious topics. But we can also get distracted in a good way. Because you know what? When you're having fun, sometimes it's good to get distracted. But with the membership, it will be just for facilitating, teaching, offering, sharing yoga and meditation, and exploring contemplative traditions across the board. I'm going to bring up my desktop real quick. So that way it's just that subject. It won't be just 1 second. Sorry, guys. I had to bring up my desktop so it's easier to see. It won't be just talking about yoga. It's going to be talking about all of the contemplative traditions that we can find meaning, that we can find help, that we can find comfort, and that we can live a more meaningful and sharing life. Let's see. Sean, right? You said your name was, I think you mentioned your name was Sean? If I'm not mistaken, which I often am. Good evening and nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Schizosis, am I saying that right? Fortunately, if I'm saying it wrong, I can remember how to say Sean. So that's helpful. Appreciate that. How you doing, Sean? So, yeah, what I'll be offering is if it pans out, if it works out well. If it doesn't seem to be working out, I'll just go ahead and delete it. We'll go back to the way things always were. Teaching breath work. So we're doing live streams where we're working on breath work and then people can ask questions. Probably teaching very, very basic yoga asanas, the postures, because I don't like to complicate things. If anyone wants a yoga class, there's billions of them everywhere. Every city, every town probably has a yoga studio now, and there's great yoga channels that offer that. But I want something that you guys can do without being in a class every single day. Can you open up can you get strong, flexible, but more importantly, You open up the subtle body, the energy bodies that connect you to the universe, connects you to love, connects you to God. Remember, yoga means union. Union with what? Union with our best and highest self, union with God, union with the universe. Sean says, I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. My day's starting to wind down. It's early, but I'm to bed pretty early. I'm up pretty early. Poor man's here. How you doing, poor man? What's on the workout agenda for today? So hopefully you guys will think that's a good idea. Of course, it's not required, and it's also not that I won't be teaching other people, that I won't be teaching here as well. I don't know if I actually call it teaching, sharing. I like that better. Alyssa says, I live in a very small town. That sounds awesome. Well, great. I hope so. Like I said, I hope it works out. Again, what I want is for people to realize that, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you have these options. You can sit and you can meditate. And then, well, you can sit, you can do some breath work, you can meditate, and then you can do 5-minute yoga routine. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be involved. You can do 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And then you've gotten then 3 huge modalities for improving your mental life, your physical health, and your spiritual well-being. And you can fit all that in for 30 minutes. And then if you have time, as I mentioned before, you go out and you take a walk in nature. You come home and you do something creative. You paint, you draw, you do origami, you take a photograph. That's the great thing about going out in nature. Take your phone with you, but don't look at the phone. Avoid, man, when you, I do want to talk about mornings. When you wake up in the morning, put off that social media, put off the emails until you get your breath work, your meditation, and your yoga in. Or it could be Qigong or Tai Chi if you do that. It could be, if you don't meditate, it could be deep prayer work. You can combine meditation with prayer. And then check your email after you've done all that, because the morning is one of the most impressionable times of the day. It's a clean slate. You haven't ingested anything yet, food or news or information. Everything is fresh and new. So if you wake up and you immediately download busyness, bad news, all the stuff that's going on in the world, that's how your day's going to go. Let's see. Sean says, well, let me hop back here. Poor man says, just got broke off, followed Leo's live with Fest. Wow, man, you took it up a notch for sure. Sean says, so is yoga and meditation different? They are different, but part of the same path. Yoga, the yoga that we'll be talking about mostly is, there's 4 paths of yoga. Let me get into that 1 second. Alyssa says, when do you plan to start? I sent it in for review. They say it takes about 24 hours. So if I get the information tomorrow, I'll put out an intro video until maybe Tuesday. And basically it's going to be once or twice a week. We'll do, we'll teach meditation, we'll teach breath work, and we'll teach some yoga. And also we'll talk about contemplative prayer. We'll talk about Taoism, Buddhism, mystical Christianity, and whatever, shamanism. I want to talk about inspiration and art, whatever art that we practice, whatever that might be. And then anything that you guys want to throw out there. And again, I didn't want to do levels. I didn't want to this much and you get this much information, this much and you get this much information. Just wanted to put it all out there um, and see how it goes. Mir, how are you? So, Sean, there's four main paths of yoga. There's what's called Bhakti Yoga, which is the yoga of devotion. And that's where we are worshipful. We look for every opportunity to worship God, whatever our expression of God or the universe or the Tao or life is. Um, and we do that by repetition of a holy name or remembrance. When we are cooking food, we are remembering love, we're remembering God. We're literally cooking food for our family as an offering to the God within them, knowing that they come from God, that they are of God, that they are love. And so our preparation, we are serving God for feeding our family or feeding our friends or any of those acts that we do. All of it's surrendered. And then there's karma yoga, number 2. Karma doesn't mean punishment or retribution. Doesn't mean you'll get yours. Karma simply means, in Sanskrit, it simply means action. So we take our actions and we surrender them. Every action is done for the sake of the action itself and not for the sake of the results. So let's take burpees as an example. If you're doing burpees to get to 200 reps, you're doing it for gratification of the ego. If you're doing burpees and surrendering each and every rep, surrendering it, you're doing it just for the love of doing a burpee, 1 rep at a time. You'll still get 200 reps, but there's no pressure because every rep was given away. And you do that with everything in your life. You're not just working a job, you are serving God through working that job. And again, when I say God, it's your concept of God. And then 3 is jnana yoga, which is the yoga of wisdom. It's the yoga of self-inquiry, where we keep asking ourselves, who am I? Without ever settling on an answer, who am I? Until we realize we don't know. We're mystery itself. And then the 4th is Ashtanga yoga, which means 8, Raja yoga. It's the 8-fold path of yoga. And that will be the big one that we'll talk about because it contains 2 ethical branches, 8 branches of yoga, and it contains pranayama, which is breath work, and it contains the asanas, which are the postures that we all know about. It contains withdrawal of the senses, and then it leads three limbs of meditation, accumulating in samadhi, which is bliss consciousness. So meditation is part of yoga. As a matter of fact, it's the most important part of yoga. All right, I got to dive back in. Sorry, guys. Asia's here. Hey. Asia, my friend, how are you? I had a great talk with Asia last night. Mir says, say Sir Yogi and beautiful people. Let's see. Sean says, like that idea of keeping your mind peaceful and not filling it up with chaos in the morning. So as you set your day off, correct, that's some good advice. Because you know what? All that other stuff is going to come to you anyway. Why be in a rush? All the bad news, all the good news, all the whatever news, it's still going to be there. And it's going to come rushing in as soon as you start your day, the busyness of your day. So why be in a rush for it? Let it come when it comes. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. If, as a drastic example, if World War III just started now, does putting off knowing about it by 30 minutes make difference one way or the other? If it's an emergency, everyone's got an emergency, notification. You'll know. But most of it's not an emergency. Most of it is just people rushing in to give us bad news. And we don't need it. Because at the same time there's bad news happening, there's also good news happening. Every time war breaks out in one spot, there's 1,000 other spots where there is no war. Every time crime happens here, there's infinite other places where crime didn't happen. Lisa says, cool, I'll be watching. I need something like this. Awesome. Let's see. Lee says, Sean, I agree. That's why I'm looking forward to doing some work with Eric. Yep, happy to help everyone. And you know what? It is the membership thing, but if someone doesn't want the membership, reach out to me. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to help. I'm going to give the same help. It just means that when we're doing that specifically, it's going to be uninterrupted. Leo says, much love, Yogi. Hope you're having a great Sunday, brother. Stay safe and stay strong. You as well, my friend. You getting in your reps today? I saw you over at Jacob's. I didn't see any notifications yet. Leo says, hello, Yogi family. Hope you guys are staying safe and having a great day. Much love to you all. Let's continue the journey. Absolutely. Poor man says, that live spoke to me this morning, Leo. So you already got your reps. Leo says, I appreciate that, brother. Sunday work before the day begins. Absolutely. Sean says, okay, I see it's deeper than I thought. I am so pleased to be here. Thanks for the explanation. Thanks for explaining these for me. I now have a better understanding, and I hope to grow as a person being part of your community. Yeah, we're going to grow together. So, as Leo said above, let the journey begin. We're all in it together. Yeah, most people, unfortunately, they think of yoga and they think of just the stretches. But yoga is ancient. Yoga is older than any other form of religion or spirituality except for shamanism. And it actually came from shamanism. You ever wonder why the vast majority of yoga poses are named after animals? Because the ancient yogis, the ancient rishis and wise men would study animals, how they moved, how they stretched, how they gained their energy, how they got ready to sleep, and they mimicked them. This is why they say, even if all of our history of yoga got wiped out, the universe would bring us back around again to yoga. It's a gift. Asia says, I'm good. How are you? I'm doing good, Asia. It's been a good day. Hey Lee, how's the subscribers? I know we're shooting for 50. We are at 24, so we're almost halfway there. Leo says, yes, sir, I did 203 pump burpees, 150 were with 35-pound vest. How are you liking the vest, Leo? It's what, 2 weeks in now? Jace is here. Jace, how are you? So, yeah, Sean, when you think about it, what's in this day and age, what's the first thing we almost always automatically do when we get out of bed? Within maybe the first 5 minutes is we reach for the phone. We have so much information at hand instantly, we take it for granted. And then we wonder why our mind's so busy. Why is it so crowded? Why are we constantly thinking, not a moment of peace? Because first thing in the morning, we downloaded information and we set the intent. The intent was fill me up with mainly useless stuff over and over and over again. If you watch the news or you get it on social media, you'll find generally it's the same story told by person after person after person. Something happens and then someone comes on TV and says, now here's my point of view. And then the next 15 minutes after that, someone says, now here's my point of view too. and it's endless. Do we really need to know? We know something happened, right? Do we need to know other people's opinions, at least immediately? Or can we form our own opinion? But we can't do that when we keep putting all this extra stuff in. Let's see. Sean says the history of yoga sounds so interesting. Yeah, it really is. We'll be talking about that as well. And that was just the four main branches, is sub branches as well. And this is why, I talked to Leo and said, oh man, Leo's definitely a yogi. He jumped into the nasal breathing. He's intent with all his reps. You don't see him messing around. And you don't see him getting caught up in the emotions of it, you know? Let's see. Wolfmana says yoga came from Bhagavad Gita, bro, and other the techniques were reunited by Patanjali. What came before the Bhagavad Gita? The four branches of yoga definitely came from the Bhagavad Gita, but there was people when the Bhagavad Gita was given from Krishna to Arjuna. It was already yogis. It was already yoga taking place. Let's see. Jay says, I'm walking in the sunshine with Zena, watching. Beautiful. Lee says, I think for me, who can be irritable, impulsive, and patient, yoga would be perfect for me. And it's such an all-inclusive path. We start where we start. Accept ourselves where we are. And we just keep committed to it. Commitment doesn't mean we get it perfect. Sometimes it seems we step off the path. Lisa says, I automatically reach for my laptop, and I know it's not healthy. Time for positive changes. Yeah, but you know why? Because the laptop is still going to be there 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later. So as we reach for it, because it's out of habit, if we just can have a pause and say, is this what I want to do right now? Is there anything I need to know right now that can't wait half an hour? Lee says, Lisa, we can work on it together. Lisa says, I think that makes it even better, Lee. We can motivate each other. Absolutely. Let's see. Volkmana says, most people don't like to claim that because speaking about origin of yoga is taboo, but poses, as you yourself said, isn't yoga, but rather pratyahara, the internalization of prana. Yeah, nicely said. I never, because like I say in the title of my channel, Just a Yogi, I figured Just a Yogi lets me off the hook. I'm not anything special. I'm not a master yogi. I'm just a yogi. I'm practicing the same as everyone else. So yeah, I don't mind talking about the origin of yoga. Everything has its basis in shamanism and the universe talking. You know, I am a certified teacher of primordial sound meditation, and there's 108 primordial sounds that I used for mantras, and they got those, the ancient rishis, the ancient seers, got them by listening, simply listening to the universe. If we were quiet enough, we would hear the same sounds. So, yeah, there's no secret. Don't talk about this, don't talk about that. Because if we were capable of, and the only reason we're not capable of is because we forgot, everything would be revealed through the universe itself. Sean says, Lee, that is a beautiful description. He says, Eric said yesterday, we are all waves, but collectively part of the same sea or ocean, and we can flow together. Yeah, the thing is, we already are. We're already flowing together. The wave is never, ever separate from the ocean itself. Rahmana says, but most people don't talk about it because for that to achieve protecting nature would be so important. Just pray that we are interlinked with nature itself. Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. We'd have to start looking at nature in terms of, as Rahmana was saying, in terms of protecting and cherishing instead of for profit. We couldn't look at land the same way. We couldn't look at land and say, what can I put here? Because it doesn't, nothing has to be put there. A tree would just be allowed to be a tree, and we wouldn't see it as a source of lumber or as cosmetic. Sean says, oh, Lee, that's a beautiful subscription. Sorry, I'm a little out of order, guys. Timo's here. Timo, how are you? What time is the premiere tonight? Optimop says we are back home. I think it's usually 4 o'clock my time, which is 9 o'clock your time. Lisa Skitzy used to watch the Chipmunks channel, but I didn't feel comfortable there, and then found Eric. I haven't been to that channel. You've mentioned that before. I'm going to have to check him out. Mir says, hey to Optimob. Elisa says, I'm going to say the same. Sean, it's a beautiful description. Yeah, I've read that from, I think the first time I read it was from Alan Watts. Mentioned before, in 1981, a girlfriend's mother gave me 2 books by Alan Watts, one on the Tao, one on Zen. And it set off a lifelong exploration and love for everything yoga, everything shamanism, even my own tradition of, I was raised Catholic. I went to a Catholic school. I largely left it behind, but later in life, through the practice of yoga, I was able to re-explore it from a different lens, a different perspective, and welcome it back in my life through the practice of, as I mentioned quite often, A Course in Miracles. And that's one of the big things that I'll be talking about as well in the membership. Is one of the principles of A Course in Miracles is don't seek to change our behaviors. It's too big of a task. Seek to change the cause of the behavior, and then everything falls into place. Laradox says, hey, Laradox, how are you? Laradox says, unfortunately, I can't stay, but I'll be back shortly, guys. Maybe later today. Nice to see you, Laradox. Flowers here. Flower says, why is Laradox not a mod? Oh, it's a long story, Flower. How was your week of school? Lisa says hi to Laradox and to Optimob. Sean says, Lee, I'm glad you found this place. From what I've seen so far, Eric has a great mindset. Look forward to learning so much wisdom from him. We'll learn from each other, that's for sure. You know, any wisdom that I have is the same wisdom you guys have. So we're pooling our resources. There's only one source of wisdom, and that's the universe itself, God itself, love itself, however we want to describe it, the Tao. So we're all capable of just sitting and being still and channeling that wisdom. I can guarantee you guys, I have absolutely nothing that you all don't, for sure. Flower says, how are you? I'm good. Flower, how are you? Sean says, nice to meet you. I'm Sean. Yeah, I hope you guys can connect. Jace waves the flower. And we get the link drop from Optimob. We have a premiere in 88 minutes, guys. I drove the most beautiful road in the world. Sussen Pass Road in Switzerland. So I hope you guys will be there. I mention this every week, that a Optimob premiere is a thing of absolute beauty. You'll literally watch the whole thing with your mouth hanging open because you'll be overwhelmed by the beauty, and no one can present that beauty better than Timo. He's got editing skills, extraordinary editing skills, and an eye for capturing, not to mention technical expertise in how he has everything set up. Our friend CDP is here. It says, if you haven't filled, you haven't tried. I hope you have many failures and successes, everyone. Thank you, CDP. Our friend CDP is a man of mystery. He goes from channel to channel to channel, just dropping love. That's it, dropping love. And then moving on. Finding another channel, it's doing the same thing. It's always a gift when he shows up. He lifts everything. He makes it all just a little bit better. I hope everyone gets a visit from CDP on their live streams. He says, Skits, Jace got in me here. I have enjoyed working with Jace since I met Jace. My life is getting better. Jace can work some magic. Laura says, hiya, Jace. Lisa says, nice to meet you, Sean. Hello, Sabine. How are you? How are you feeling, Sabine? Sabine says, hope you're all doing fine. So I'm going through some of the eyes. Just when Sue is here. Sue, how are you? How's life on the Susquehanna today? Runner Boy is here. Runner Boy says to CDP, do you follow me? Let's see. Runner Boy says, did you see the burpees I did on my live stream? I mentioned you. I was in and out as I was taking my walk, but I did watch a lot of it. I didn't hear you mention me. Let me know what part, and I'll go check it out. CDP says, does anyone need a sub before I go? Man, that's so awesome. Hey, CDP, actually, you probably have many, many people. I know that Lee is looking to gain some subscribers so he can do a live stream. Flower says, hi, Miss Sabs. Lee says, Sean, well, Eric is live every day. and part of us now, and you're part of us now. Absolutely. Optimob says, thank you, Eric. You're absolutely welcome. Man, I love shouting out people that um, are doing something so beautiful, that putting out so much beauty in the world. That's how the world's going to get better. It's not going to get better by... We're never going to protest our way into peace, because if we could, we would have already. We are never going to argue our way into peace. We're never going to vote our way into peace. But here's how we're going to get to peace. We're going to have people like Timo and Sabine putting out beautiful, beautiful work that just inspire you to be peaceful. We're going to have people like Jace, who not only show us how to be fit, but then he just gives out a message of pure, unconditional love at the end of his workouts. We're going to have people like Sue sharing her slice of the world. You understand somebody's world a little bit better. You see their appreciation and love of where they live. And you think, man, why would I want to do anything to harm such a beautiful place presented by such a beautiful person? If you don't have a YouTube channel and you're not putting out beautiful stuff, start a YouTube channel and start putting out beautiful stuff. It's easy. And how do you find beautiful stuff? Look out the window, take a walk, breathe in fresh air. Everything's nature. I've heard people say, I don't have nature in my area. If you have a single blade of grass, you have nature. If you have a cloud in the sky, if you have the sky itself, you have nature. And no one does better sky and cloud videos than our friend Just One Sue. Optimov says, but you need a bit of time. It's a movie. You know, usually when you do your premiere on Sunday, it's right when I'm getting ready to prepare my last meal for the day. So as I'm preparing it, I always put Optimob up on his premieres on Sundays, because it's I think of what they present as a blessing. When you're feeling good, then the vibration of the food that you're preparing has a higher vibratory rate. Runner Boy says, Lass, I'm going to check it out. I got you up. I actually had you playing, and then I watched another video of yours. All right, I'm going to try to catch up with you guys. CDP says, okay, I've subscribed to everyone here. Have a beautiful evening all. Man, sorry guys, my eye was itching. What a beautiful person. Everyone here who he wasn't subscribed to before, now he is. Timo says, I'd like to invite everyone. By the way, Optimob is Timo. Optimob is Timo, Sabine, and Bax, the Wonder Dog. They're a team. So if you hear me say, you know, Timo, it's the same as saying Optimob. Optimob says, I'd like to invite all later to the premiere. I hope to see everyone there for sure. So as we're cruising through, if I happen to miss anyone's comment, just let me know. Timo says, we try to show something beautiful every week. And you do an excellent job. Verna Boy says, how long before it starts? Until it starts. The last I checked, it was... Let's see, I just had it up. It was 88 minutes ago, the last I checked. So probably like 80 minutes is what it says right now. So you got a little over an hour. I'll probably talk for about 20 more minutes, and We'll call it an afternoon. I'll be back later. Sean says, Lee, what's the channel's name for the premiere? Right below, Sean. It's Optimob is the channel's name, and the link is right below your last comment up above. Runner Boy says, I was doing some sunbathing today, looking at the sky. Also had sunscreen on. Yeah, there's a Buddhist meditation of just simply looking at the sky and recognizing our own true nature of the mind. Buddhism, they say it's our clear sky mind or a blue sky mind, that we have, just like the sky always has clouds passing through it, always has an airplane passing through it, has tree branches reaching through it, mountaintops touching it, but the sky itself is always never affected by anything that passes through. It doesn't say, I'll accept a bird, but not an airplane. It doesn't say, I'll accept a branch, but not a mountaintop. It doesn't say, I want white puffy clouds and not a storm cloud. It accepts everything, knowing that it'll always be unaffected, that everything passes through it. That's the nature of our mind. That's why meditation isn't about clearing the mind of any thoughts. It's about recognizing the mind is already quiet. It's already still, and thoughts are just passing through. So we start to learn how to recognize that clear sky nature and not relate to the clouds passing through. The sky would never say, I'm a cloud. And yet how often have we said to ourselves, I'm a thinker? I'm not. There's no such thing as a thinker. Thoughts just happen. Thoughts are the result of neurochemical reaction in the brain towards an object. But we are the awareness of the thought. We're that clear blue sky. Lee says, can someone drop Sabine's link for Sean, please? I don't know how to do it. And Runnerboy just did. Thank you, Runnerboy. I appreciate it. Sean says, thank you. I found it. Awesome. Subbed and liked. Lee says, sub to you, Sabine. Wish you knew how to quickly sub everyone here. Let's see. There is a way to do it. So, Sean and Elisa, you guys both have wrenches. Now you can click on anyone's channel name and subscribe to them. Just an easier way to help people grow their channels. I've been accused by a good friend of giving out wrenches willy-nilly, which is probably true. However, you guys are here, you're participating, you're looking to help everyone grow their channels as well as growing your own channel. So why not make it easier for you? Optimob says, yes, Sabine and Timo and Bax. That is the Team Optimob. Timo. I think I had it right the first time, and I overthought it, or overpronounced it. I edited 200 hours of this video, 20 hours of this video. You can see it today. I started rendering in the morning, 2:30 a.m. night. Timo is relentless in his pursuit of excellence in what he puts out. Sean says, thanks, Eric. You and your community have been so welcome. I'm happy to be here. We're definitely happy to have you. I just love that sense of how we're all growing together. Speed says, we are just eating, sorry. Not a problem. Sabine says, Lisa, just subbed that. Tima says, you have questions, ask. Here are very polite people. Absolutely. Tima says, it's all about detail. Small things make the difference. Editing and life. Excellent advice. Small things. Take care of the small, and the large will change. Simply observing the thought. Think of, it was Emerson who said the ancestor of every action is a thought. So everything that we see created in the world, every building, skyscraper, every car, every monument, every work of art, all came from action, and every action started with a thought. This is why the book that we're reading in the 5 a.m. reading of the Tao Te Ching from Wayne Dyer, change your thoughts, change your life. That's the whole lesson from A Course in Miracles as well. It says, do not seek to change the world, seek to change how you perceive the world. And you do that by realizing that we are projecting our thoughts out into the world, and that shapes the world that we live in. Imagine if we had different thoughts. If we had different thoughts, we'd have a different world entirely. Let's see. Our friend Asia says, have you written anything today? I have. I write every morning at 4 a.m. Have my cup of coffee in front of me. That's part of the ritual of creativity that I've set for myself. And I just sit and I wait. I ask myself, what am I going to write about today? What is there to write about today? And something will come to me. Sometimes in a minute, sometimes in 10 minutes, sometimes in 20 minutes, but something always comes. And the key to, I wouldn't say effective writing, the key to intuitive writing, get comfortable with silence. Silence isn't the absence of words. Silence is the potentiality of words to come. Without silence, words would never arrive. You can't keep pouring tea when the cup is full. It just overflows. No room for it. So if it feels like, man, I'm sitting at my desk, I can't think of anything to write about, make friends with that. Make friends with the silence. It was the philosopher Pascal. He said, all of man's troubles stem from his inability to sit alone quietly in a room. Paraphrase. We can't just sit and be still. We need to do something with our hands. We need to think about something. We need to fantasize about something or plan. So, yep, I did write. It's on my community page. I try every morning to post my morning's writing on my community page. With it, you'll see a photo. And then I have the caption underneath. Sabine says, I have that book as well. It's awesome. Nice. I'm not surprised. An excellent book. Because not only is it giving you a translation of the Tao Te Ching, it's giving you suggestions on how to implement the Tao into your daily life. So yeah, I've been doing a morning read. And today was day 73. There's 81 verses in the Tao, so we have a little over a week left. And then we'll start something else. Timo says, Mir says, I tried that, man, but I purchased my laptop. What do you mean, Ahmed? Did you just get your laptop? Did you get a new one? Timo says, years ago, a small question online to Sabine. How is the weather in Canada? With that simple question started our relationship. And we were, what's that, 100,000 kilometers apart and 8 time zones. Wow. Years ago. You know, I was a manager in a vitamin store, and someone came in a military uniform. I didn't know at the time it was Air Force, and she had a question. She was looking for some supplements to address something specific, and she asked me, and I said, you know what? You don't need to buy any supplements. I think it would be helpful for you if you learned how to meditate, and I'd be happy to direct you to some books or to show you how. And 2 years after that, we were married. Let's see, about 7 years after that, we were divorced. And now, 10 years, maybe more, 12 years more from that, we are still together in a way that works for both of us. We might have gotten divorced, but we never got separated from each other. We've stayed committed in our way. We've stayed loving in our way. As Optimob says, as Timo said, from small things. One little comment. One little email, online comment. And now look at them. Runner Boy says, we have severe weather warning for thunder, hail, and lightning. Is that pretty unusual for you, isn't it, Runner Boy? Mira says, amazing, Optimob. My prayers for your great partnership, brother. Absolutely. Tomorrow. Be safe, Runner Boy. Asia said, I wrote something also. It's about a mouse. Did you post it anywhere? I'd love to read it if you did. Hey, Asia, are you on Facebook by any chance? If anyone here is on Facebook and they want to friend me, feel free. Eric McCarty. Sean says, Optimob, that's the beautiful thing about the modern world. It brings us closer. We're all living together, all living individual lives, but we are here, part of this wonderful community. Absolutely, Sean. Yeah, as Lee said, well said, and beautifully said. Yeah, you know what? Modern technology is just a tool. So if we say, man, all this technology is horrible for us, it is if we make it horrible for us, but we can also, as Sean said, we can use it to bring us together. Without the internet, without technology, without YouTube, I would never get to experience Switzerland from the eyes of Sabine and Timo and Bax. Timo says, sorry, but I have to walk with Bax now. Listen with the iPhone. Appreciate that. Timo says to Sean, right? Our friend Prescott is here. Prescott F. Shrimpleton, also known as the Night Watcher. He has made me learn how to pronounce every single one of his complicated channel names, only to change it again when I get comfortable with it. Prescott says, hello, ladies and gents, and my non-binary friends. It's me, the great Lord of Shrimpshire. I, Lord Prescott. I, Shrimple, decree a warm welcome to you. Well, welcome, Prescott. That was quite an opening line. Our friend Barb is here. Hello, hugs, blessings to one and all. Hope everyone is doing fine. Thank you, Barb. Barb, how are you feeling? Verna Boy says, yeah, rare. Well, I hope you're safe, my friend. I hope you stay safe tomorrow. Asia says, no, I'm not. Hey, if you're interested, I'll put my email underneath. And if you want to share your writing with me, you don't need to. Some people don't like sharing their stuff. Others enjoy it. We talked about this last night. For me, it's my way of releasing it. Once I post it, once I share it on my blog, once I share it on my social media sites, it doesn't belong to me anymore. I release it all. Lisa says, I was looking for what she wrote about a mouse also. Would love to read it. Yeah, that would be great. So you got some fans here, Asia. Sabine says, now my belly is filled up. I am back, and my brain isn't working again. But as long as you're satisfied, my friend. Barb says hi to Sabine. Sabine says hi to Barb. So for the Elisa and Sean, Barb is a good friend who has a very, speaking of creativity, she has a crafting channel. But more than that, she'll sit and she'll craft, and she will dispense love, dispense wisdom, and care. It is like sitting down with a family member and soaking up the company. Speed says, does anyone have know that book from Dr. Murphy Brown, Change Your Subconscious Mind? I don't know it. Interesting. Sean says, hi to Barb. I'm Sean. Nice to meet you. So here's my email address. Stay tuned for our friend Prescott to comment, if he's still here, to comment on my email address, which is fair game. So I look forward to hearing from you, Asia. Let's see. Prescott says, Yogi, should I turn on slow mode? You know what, Prescott, someone told me it doesn't work for moderators. And since everyone here is almost all a moderator, I don't know if it would work. We could try it, see how it works. I'm only going to talk for about 2 or 3 more minutes. I want to be ready. Again, we have our friend Timo coming up in just over an hour, 61 minutes. Sabine says, this is a very good book. Does work hand in hand with the book of Dr. Wayne Dyer. Nice. I'm going to look for it on Amazon. It's a really good book. I appreciate it. I always on the lookout for more books. Barb says that we're putting up a video about the ride around Lake Charles, west part, then south, the Big Lake, and then intercoastal canal and Big Lake area. Nice. I'll be on the lookout for him, Barb. Let's see. Prescott says everyone greets Barb, but not me. Just joking. Barb deserves all she gets. Barb simply does deserve all she gets, but so does Prescott. I think everyone said hi to you, Prescott. Speed says thank you. So again, for those who don't know, Prescott is Night Watcher. I think everyone knows Night Watcher. Barb says, Prescott, I thought I typed. Hi, sorry. Just got in. Let's see, Sean says, it was wonderful to meet you all today. Thanks, Jace, for guiding me to Eric's live stream. Definitely. Big thanks to Jace. I've met some great friends through Jace. Met Lee through Jace. I met Jace through Jace. See, we knew it was coming. Prescott says, AOL, man, it hurts, man, like AOL. Really, Yogi? Do you get 100 killing bits per second still? I actually don't know how many bits per second I get, kilobits. I get enough. I get enough kilobits. You will not hear me ever complain about my kilobits. You might hear me asking what a kilobit is, but you won't hear me complain about it. Alyssa's laughing. I knew it was coming, Alyssa. I knew it was coming from Prescott. But he is always willing to help. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap things up for today. Appreciate you all hanging out with me. In less than an hour, we have a beautiful premiere coming up from Optimob. As well, guys, if anyone could support Optimob in getting some watch hours, excuse me, they are getting awful close. Awful close to getting monetizing, and they definitely deserve to be. As well, a few other people we're working with. Runaboy could use some watch hours, and our friend Jace could use some watch hours. So if you just click on a playlist, or you have them on an extra device, all of it goes a long way, guys. Prescott says only 1 hour stream. Yeah, for today. Hey, but I'll be back in what? It's 2 my time. I'll be back in about 3 hours. A little over 3 hours. Sean says, thanks, Eric. Take care. Much love. Much love to you, my friend. Hey, Prescott, I did start a membership, or I'm in the process of doing it. Asia says, Alyssa says, thanks, everyone. It was great hanging out with you all of you for a bit today. Man, it was, Alyssa, it was great meeting you and hanging out. Asia says, Alyssa, if you want to read it, it's on my page. Nice. I will be checking it out. Speed says, thank you, Yogi Eric. It was a wonderful chat. Yes, we will help the boys to get their watch hours. Absolutely. Prescott says, good afternoon, Yokester. Hey, good luck in school. Tomorrow's the first day, right, for you? Or did you start last week? Whichever the case, I'm wishing you a successful school year. And hey, if you need to come in, or you see my email address, if you need to talk, send me an email. Asia says, thanks, guys. You're welcome. Tima says, thank you, Eric. Still walking with Max. Enjoy the walk, and we'll be seeing you in just a little bit, less than an hour. Prescott says it was supposed to be last week, but it's tomorrow. All right, I'll be thinking of you, Prescott. I hope you have a good day. And again, it's going to be a successful year for you, my friend. So, hey, lots of love, lots of prayers to Prescott on his first day of school. Asia says, have a blessed day, y'all. You as well. Sending out love and prayer to our friend Barb, wasn't feeling too well yesterday. To our friend Sabine, who also wasn't feeling too well yesterday. And to anyone who needs it. Again, I'll be back later, about 3 hours or so. If anyone wants to talk, we'll pick off where we left off. We'll talk about something new. It's all good. I'll see everyone later. Take care.